All right, all right. Let me know if you guys can hear me and see me. What's up, JB, Mike, Greg? Is the audio clear? Just type in All right, loud and clear, loud and clear. All right. Welcome to the live stream. For anybody that doesn't get to watch this today, I'll have it definitely on the YouTube channel. First thing is, I'd like to point out, I got a new hat, Diesel Day Trading. So, I'm pretty proud of that. This is just for educational purposes only, so I got to get that out there. Looks like we're a little early, but I'm definitely glad to be here. It was a phenomenal week in the stock market. In today's session, I want to go over a lot of things that I don't get to go over with on the daily videos, like what I see, how I see it, stuff like that. The first thing is, I guess I might as well wait a little, I don't know, maybe a minute or two. Maybe some other people show up. Who knows? If not, they can watch it later. But it's cold where I'm at today. Super cold. The wind's brutal. But hey, got the day off. Toast to that. I'm definitely happy, man. I'd be happy if the market was open. Depends how many people show up. I don't know. My name's not like huge yet, but hopefully some days it will be. But if you throw a question out there and I don't answer it, just be patient, I guess. But hey, it's 6, so I guess JB says 80 degrees here. Man, you're lucky. We got about another month until, a month or two till we hit 80 degrees. So I guess we'll just I'll minimize myself here so you guys can see a lot better of the chart. Let me just make it smaller. I guess first thing is first. We'll start off with 2 days ago was 90. Man, I'm jealous. 90 is nice. I'm gonna show you guys the broker that I'm using. So in order to do what I do, hey, the big G, welcome. So in order to do what I do every single day is I short sell stocks. What I mean is I'm betting on a stock to go down. I'm going to actually make a video probably next week on how you go about to do what I do. But first thing I want to show you guys, I'm sure you guys have seen it a million times, is the broker that I'm using. So the broker that I'm using, you can see on the screen right now, it's Trade Zero. These guys allow you to short, they're called HTBs, hard to borrow stocks. So most penny stocks are definitely hard to borrow stocks. So Trade Zero, Center Point, I would say them are the top two for shorting penny stocks. But if you want to short large cap, pretty much any broker allows you to do that. So I'm going to go into more detail. Not today. I want to go over like the way I look at trades. Any questions you guys have, stuff like that today. I don't really want to get into how the broker exactly works, but I just want to put it out there that that's who I'm using as Trade Zero, and I have TD Ameritrade. So I have two brokers. So let's get back into the juicy stuff. Now my screen's all messed up. Just give me a second. Hi from the... I'm not that... I'll get better at the YouTube Live when I'm trading is a lot easier. But I'll go into... to show you guys in depth on what I see in these charts. So as you can see right now, and if you guys have any questions, throw them out there. I'll stop. I'll stop and try to answer questions if I don't see it. I mean, it's not like there's a lot of people here, so I should be able to see a lot of the questions. But if I get rambling on, I'll definitely glance. But so what you're looking at right now is FTFT. This stock was a runner on Thursday. So what I love to see is this candle right here. And the reason why I like to see that is because I'm using the 20-day 1 hour candlestick. And the reason why I like to see that is there's no support on this candlestick in the last hour. No major support. So this is my go-to setup. Like, this is like picture perfect. So say we're looking at this real time and you see this big candlestick. What you want to do is when this candlestick closes, and you can use you can use this pattern on large cap, mid cap, whatever you want to use it for. Like, it doesn't just have to be penny stocks. The reason I like penny stocks the best is because they correlate with each other. So the close of this candle is 780. So what I do every morning is I get up, and if I see something moving like this, the first thing I look at, is where's the close? Is this candle after hours? No, this candle's pre-market. A lot of my trades, I'm up at like 3-4 in the morning, already looking at the patterns. So I'm going to show you guys a huge secret. And it's not a secret that nobody can show you. It's just you'll start to see like these patterns in the last. I got so many tickers, and you're gonna notice these patterns. This is what I look for. This is my go-to setup. This is pre-market. So a huge green candle like this, you want to wait for this candle to close. And when the next candle opens, let's just fast forward, bam. So this next candle is going to open. This candle opened at $7.80. So wherever this candle closes, this candle is going to open. So what I like to do is if this candle opens around $7.80, I will take a small size. And when I mean by smalls, say I plan on shorting 1,000 shares in this stock. I'm going to short maybe 100 to 200 shares, not heavy, just a starter position to feel if this stock's going to pull back or if this stock's going to go higher. If it goes higher, you cut the trade. So what I like to see is if this candlestick pops up a little bit like this, then I don't mind that, but you don't want to see strength. So if it moves 10 cents against you, that's why you use small size. It's just a feeler position. So if it moves 10 cents against you and you're shorting 100, 200 shares, you're not deep in the hole. You're just taking a starter position. So this gets to 790 and comes down to 750. So what I do is I'll mark, so when this stock closes, this 1 hour candle closes, I'll look at the low and say, okay, it's 748. I'll draw a line or whatever. You don't have to draw a line. You can do it mentally. So I'm like, all right. So that closes at 748. So this next candle, this is the market open. If this thing starts showing a lot of volume and pushes up to the high side, you have to cut the trade. Like, I actually had to cut this trade on Thursday. But you can always get back in. That's why you take a starter size. So it goes to 8:45, and you wait for this candle to close. When this candle closes, this tells you the picture of the story. When that closes, that shows huge, huge weakness. So if this closes, now you're saying, okay, I'll re-enter this position. And my stop now is right here, 791. So if you start short into the stock, small size again, 100, 200, 300 shares. My stop loss is if it breaks this 780s, I won't cut it right away. But if it breaks 790s and starts ripping to the upside, I'm out of the trade. So if this does not break 780 and this candle closes red, now I'm really gaining confidence in this trade. So now I'm going to start positioning in heavier. So that 200 became 500 shares or whatever you want. Next candle, still couldn't break 780. And obviously, I don't know if you guys watch this ticker, but I was short this ticker at 750, 760s. I covered my position in the 670s. So that right there is a home run trade. Like, usually they don't crash like this. But with penny stocks, you'll see the same patterns exist. And I'll show you today in this live stream. So that was one trade. The other trade, so I'm going to put up some different screens here. So ACY. Go to 20-day, 1 hour, and you're going to start to see this pattern. So on ACY, why I love these 20-day, 1 hour candles. See how there's no red? That's no support. No support, no support, no support. Your first support is at 12 o'clock Central Time. You don't have to guess the backside anymore. Like, that candle tells you where the backside is. So I'll just show you guys. Say you guys are, I used to trade on the 1 minute time, pretty much the 1 minute time frame. If I was going to try to trade this stock, like to try to pick out the huge resistance, you can, but to me, in my eyes, this is way easier. This is the first 1 hour candle all day that closed red. That right there tells me that this stock is on the backside of its move. I actually ended up shorting this in the 1250s, and I covered at 980 because of this pattern. And then we'll look at another pattern. SNOA. So these stocks are all moving on Thursday. And I'm not saying you trade penny stocks, but in my videos, I preach patterns. I live by patterns. That's the only thing I trade is patterns and candlesticks. So if you look at all three of these stocks, the way they coordinate with each other, huge volume gap up. Same as this one and same as this one. What they all have in common is on this 20-day, 1 hour candlestick. I can't say that enough. 20-day, 1 hour candlestick. There's no support. There's no support. And there's no support. Now, look at this. That first 1 hour candle, you have to be careful on that. But, like I say, if that breaks 790, you get out of the way. But I'm telling you, these three patterns, this is how I make money in the stock market every day. is when I see no support and I see that backside on all three of these stocks kick in, I take a starter feeler, and when I see this red candle, my judgment now is, hey, this is the backside of the move. Can it go higher? Absolutely. But that's why you take a starter position. If you're on the 1 day, 1 minute candles to try to tell where these backsides are, it's you can do it. I used to do it all the time, but this is so much easier. But you can do this on large cap. You could do this on anything. This is what I do on a daily basis. So like right here on this pattern, I actually started shorting this stock in that video that I put out. Let's just go to SONA. So you gotta go to 90 day, because I want you guys to see this, how much these patterns exist. Whoa, oh, I got the wrong symbol, and sorry, S on the way. I was like, yeah, alright. The reason why, let's see here, with the example, when would you hit it full throttle? So when I hit this thing full throttle, I'm about to show you. So right here, this is a great example. So if I see this candle close weak, what I'm basing my trade off of is the closing price of that first red candle, which is 1070. So 1060, whatever. So when this next candle opens, if it does not break this 1070, I'm shorting it heavy. My risk is going now off of this 1070 level, because when this body closed, that was the hugest resistance on that closing candle. So when this candle opens, and it opens red, the price of this opened at was 1062. So at 1062, I'm adding size. And if it starts pushing up, I'm watching the tape at that time. And if it's not pushing past 1060, 1070, I'm adding into that position, expecting this thing to go even lower, because there's no support on this stock. So this second red candle, I'm adding size. If this single, if the candle opens up red and starts coming down immediately, I'm adding size. And the same with when this candle opens. If this candle opens and it pushes up and it's only at 1030s, you have nothing to worry about. Your average is 1070s. Bearish, 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 bearish. I hope that answered the question, but I want to show you this pattern. See on this day how this stock gapped up? Now look at this day. Right? This huge green candle went from 8s to 15s. No support. Where's the near support? Your near support's right here. Right there is your near support. This little red candle, that's your near support on this whole candle on that 20-day, 1 hour. And the reason why I short penny stocks is because they're so predictable. Like, the patterns always repeat. If one does it, they all do it. So like when this stock has no support in this first, hang on, let me get rid of this big old, oh man, I just so when this closes red, same thing. My short is right here, wherever this closed. So this closed at 1320. Small size. If it comes up, you want to have small size. Once it comes back down under your level of this 1320, that's when I start shorting heavy, because it's showing complete weakness. Complete weakness. So your entry is 1320. You use small size, because when this candle opens up, it's either going to start pushing higher or it's going to push lower. And the best way to short this is to wait for this candle to close, and then when this one reopens, if it starts pushing higher, just don't get in right away. But if this candle ever comes back down to this 1320, it's total weakness. And that's when I add huge size. And then when this candle closes, what I do, this is how you can tell if a stock's bearish or bullish. When that stock closes, the closing on this was 1122. So if you the low's 1063, not the close. The low's 1063. The next candle opens. Wait for this candle to close. If this candle is higher than this candle, that is bullish. I can't stress that enough. It is so bullish. If you get 3 of these candlesticks to close higher than that first one, super bullish. Like, you don't want to short. You want to short. You do not want to be shorting like down here. If you want to short, your shorts are up here or at the closing price. But I don't short the tops. What I short is wherever this body closes. That's my entry. My exit right here. If at any point, so like when this candle went above this 1386, I'm stopped out of the trade. If it comes back down below 1386 and starts showing weakness, I'm back in the trade, because you don't want to get squeezed. Is there any questions on if I'm moving too fast, if I'm not explaining it enough or right? I can get rambling. Now we just got too many lines. So the entry is a closing price on this red candle. If you wait for that closing price of that red candle, your percentage rate will go way higher. And then when this closes, your entry is a start wherever this closes. And it's just all you're doing is you're putting out a feeler, like 100 shares, 200 shares. You're going to see if the stock's still bullish or bearish. If it's bearish, you're going to know why, because it's going to come under 1386. What if the volume shrinks? That's even better. If the volume goes, the stock goes with it. So, I mean, if you're seeing the volume dying down, the price is going right with it. I'll give you a great example. ACY, when I shorted the stock. I started shorting the stock right on this candle. It was the first red candle that closed red. I started shorting between the 12s and 13s. And why? First red candle, look at the volume. The volume dies, the price goes with it. When I was shorting this in here, I was taking like 25, 50 shares, 100 shares. Small size. Why? Because the stock is showing all day that it's been bullish. I don't want to get caught in a huge short squeeze. So when this closes and this candle opens up next, what gave me the signal to short this, I'll show you. There's 2 things. 1, the volume. 2, when this candle opened, that's a higher low than this one. Does that influence a trade? Oh, for sure. Like, if I see the volume dying, that just gives me a lot more confidence. But what I'm basing it off is it's the pattern. Like, if you take anything away from this, it's the patterns. But yes, the volume, it definitely plays a role. But to me, in my eyes, the pattern and the candlesticks outdo everything. But when I seen this make a lower low than this and the volume's dying, that gives me even more confidence to hold my position. I just want to show you guys an example of 4 stocks. And I just want to show you this pattern. Like, if I can preach this, I'm going to preach it till I turn blue in the face. Who do you recommend? Penny stocks start to multiply. Do you still look for the patterns, or do you copy patterns? So what happens is the tide turns. If penny stocks become multi-day runners, you don't short them, because it's the pattern's showing you that the first day is not going to be the red day, the second day is not going to be the red day, the third day might be the red day. You have to wait for that to show you that. But for like the last month or 2 months, these things have been showing us the same pattern. And then I have Robinhood. Who do you recommend? I would recommend Trade Zero, but to short penny stocks, you're going to need Trade Zero. That's who I would recommend the most. Robinhood, poor executions. I would never use Robinhood ever. Like, it's not a day trading platform at all. Like, when I mean poor executions, they have some poor executions. If I could recommend to, like, if you're going to implement this style of trading, Trade Zero for sure. Or Centerpoint. And these are stocks that were multi-day runners not that long ago. I mean, I have a whole list of them. I just wanted to show you guys some. But you'll see this pattern a lot. Or we'll just sign with to get my feet wet. I think everybody, including myself, has been with Robinhood for sure. Like, don't like feel bad. I mean, I've used them. But you learn. So, yeah, I'd recommend definitely going with like Trade Zero. So what I'm showing you right here is this pattern. Like, on these 20-day 1 hours, like, you'll see this 20-day 1 hour, what this looks like. No support. 20-day 1 hour, no support in that. No support. When this opened up, this candle was actually green at one point, and then it turned red. But what I'm getting at, there's really no support levels. I could show you a better one, RKDA. I mean, I'm just like, these are the top penny stocks that's been running. Like, what scanner to use? So with Trade Zero, they actually give you a free scanner. So like here, I'll show you what the scanner looks like on Trade Zero. So, so you see how it says right here, most active. If you have their platform, they'll show you the most active stocks in the stock market. I'm not saying that's the best, but it's, for what I trade, it's the scanner I use, is this. And I'm sure if you had a better scanner, there'd be a lot more opportunities out there. But when you have their platform, this is a scanner. Like at 3 in the morning, this is like as soon as the market opens, that scanner's already running. It's telling you exactly what stocks are running. And then all you have to do, once you see that, is go on your trade or whatever charting you have. And then you pull up the stock, and then like you look for the pattern. Like I get really picky on the patterns. So what I'm showing you right here is ACY, WAFU, EEIQ, RKDA. What I'm showing you is in the last 2 weeks, these are only some of them that I've shorted. And what I'm showing you is like on a daily basis, this is what I do when I come to the stock market. So I'm showing you the power of them 20-day 1 hour candles, what they can do for you. So like it just, obviously a lot of work has to go in there with it, but like this is, you'll see this pattern not every day, but if a stock gaps up and you're on the 20-day 1 hour, you're gonna see it a lot. So that's why I live by these. I don't have the V. I don't have any indicators. The only indicators that I have is the chart pattern, the candlesticks, and where the price is headed. I don't know if there's a ticker that you guys want me to look at, or if you guys want me to go more in depth on something. Oh, I know what I want to show you guys. So let me break this down back to like a 2. So this is, I'm going to show you a pattern that you don't want to short. So you're going to see stocks that are moving throughout the day. If you see a stock moving like this, let's say this thing gapped up. So I'm going to show you the difference. So look at this pattern. So this is what you want to stay away from. There's too many support levels in this. This is still a 20-day 1 hour candle. But look at the difference of this and look at the difference of this. You're going to see a huge difference on how you have a huge advantage. Can you talk about other pattern setups that you did you used to use in the past? So in the past, I mean, I don't use it a lot, but I still would. So in the past, what I would do is like ACY, if this stock gapped up and closed weak, on this day, stock gapped up, closed weak. This day, same thing. I would be betting when this stock gapped up that it was going to close weak. So you can still use that theory. You just have to implement them 20-day 1 hour candles into the theory. Like if a stock's going against you, get out of the way. Because I mean, you can get short squeezed. What I mean by short squeeze is say you shorted, say you were shorting this stock down here, down on the, let's just say you were short at the 6s, saying the stock's not going any higher because this candle closed weak. So you got in, and then the next candle opens and it starts going against you. Now you become a buyer, and then the momentum traders come in, and then they become buyers, and then it's a recipe for disaster. So you can still use that theory, a method like this. You can look at the chart history, because the chart history tells you a lot. Like when the stock gaps up, what does it do when it gaps up? Most of the time when the stock gaps up, it closes weak. But always be on the defense. Like, doesn't mean that it has to do it, but there's a good percentage that it's going to do it. So one thing I can't stress enough to any new trader out there is, if you plan on shorting stocks, wait for the confirmation. No, I don't have my own chat room. I used to, and then I kind of got away from the whole YouTube and like the chat room thing, and I just really started focusing on my trading, which I think helped a lot. Like, I think I've really honed in on the niche, but I think this year we'll be firing one back up. but you can. I'm gonna keep loading videos on a daily basis. So like if you see a stock, let's just say, because any scanner is gonna tell you pretty much the hottest stock in the market. Like it doesn't matter if you pay for a stock scanner, you use a TD Ameritrade stock scanner, if you have Trade Zero stock scanner. Most of them are going to tell you, like, say ACY popped up, they're pretty much all going to tell you that, like, this is the hottest stock. And what you want to do is be very, very, very patient. Like, I watched this whole move come all the way up before I took the starter. Once I seen this red candle, that's your opportunity. That's now showing finally weakness in the stock. So you just have to be very patient if you want to be a short seller. So like on Monday, if you see a stock rip into the upside and say you're like, hey, I don't want to go short biased, you can take my method and flip that around and be a long bias trader. This doesn't just have to be for short sell traders. I just don't like to go long on stocks because I know the end result. When that carpet gets pulled, I don't want to be part of it. The advantage of my strategy is that when I'm a short seller, I know where the top is and I know when the backside kicks in. If you're a long bias trader and you're trading this, you have no clue where this is going to stop. So that's why I don't like to go long. I just feel really comfortable with the shorts because it tells you right here, it tells you, hey, this stock has ran out of steam. And now you have the lowest risk. Because when you start short selling, the pattern's already told you the stocks ran out. So, like, you can use this on, it doesn't just have to be penny stocks, but what I'm trying to push for is the penny stocks are most well respected within themselves. Like, the S&P doesn't influence them, the NASDAQ, none of that influences these stocks. It's all mostly retail traders. So that's why I really hone in on this. Did you work on Wall Street? No, I wish, man. I wish. A little background. I've been trading for I think this is going on 5 years. And it's been a wild ride. Like, until I found my niche, it was always up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. But now that I've found my niche in day trading, like the style that I have now, it's been a lot of watching candlesticks and looking at patterns. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I definitely do a lot of charting. But yeah, I've been, I would say this year has been really the turning point in my trading career. Like, it's taken a long time, but I never gave up. I always strived to learn. I had a red day. I forgot what day it was. I can't even remember. But the red days, yeah, they're... And I'm not trying to say, everybody's going to have red days. There's no trader out there that's not going to have a red day. But you have to try to keep them small. And that's why I'm trying to be so transparent to you guys. Like, if you look at the one video I have, when it says Diesel's back, I actually had a broker statement on there to show you guys this is real. You guys, everything that I'm doing, you guys can totally do this. And I'm not like charging you money like these people are charging you. I want everybody to succeed in the stock market. Like if you can take what I'm showing you now and today and maybe have a little twist on it or something. Did you have a mentor? Oh yeah. I went through warrior trading. I tried that. Didn't help me one bit. Will's, I don't know if you've been around. Will Cameron had a chat room. I did his. Timothy Sykes, I did his. I mean, I spent a lot of money on a lot of gurus, and I learned a little bit, but not a lot. Like, I would save your money and stick your money into, if I'm going to preach this, whatever they tell you on YouTube, like if you watch their videos on YouTube, that's in their trading platform, so just save your money. But like what you guys are seeing today, you guys can do this on a daily basis. And it's very consistent. The reason why I don't have many red days, for one, it's patience. You have to be very, very patient. Two, once you start seeing these patterns, it'll start clicking. Maybe it won't like click right away, but the more screen time you guys have, the better off you are, because you're going to start seeing these on a daily basis. Like the screen time, I can't preach. Like the screen time is a lot, and like to actually get into the trade, feel the emotions of that trade. Is there anything like anything you guys want me to like look at, or if I didn't like go into depth really about the strategy? That's what I'm really here for, is to show you guys the strategy that I use on a daily basis. So the 1 hour chart for me is way better than the 1 minute, but it's all personal preference. But for me, like, if I was going to try to short this stock, I'll just show you a comparison. Like, no. It's all personal preference. It's just the way that I trade. I just don't like to see a lot of noise. And when I see this, that to me is a lot of noise. Like, if I was shorting this in the 1 minute, I would think right here at 1089, that's the backside of the move. You know, it went from 1093 all the way down to 872. And that was at 1059. So I mean, that right there is in these two candles. Will you do a live feed on that? Oh yeah, yep. That's actually my next video. I'm going to go through Trade Zero and show you how to do it live. Locate shares, walk you through that whole process. It's actually really simple, but that's my next video, is to show you how to locate the shares. So I'll just highlight this. So that right there was in these two candles. So like me trying to short this compared to me seeing these 20-day 1 hours, this is clear as day that this stock's bullish. Over here, it looks like the stock's bearish. So that's why I switched to the 20-day 1 hour. I heard they're expensive. No, they're not expensive. Most of the time, I would say they range between 1 cent to 10 cents. Obviously, a stock that has a lot of volume. I mean, they can get pricier, but this year, most of the times for 1,000 shares, I mean, you're only paying 50, $60. And with my style, like I'm not scalping the move. Like with my style, I'm holding these stocks for points. So if I'm gonna pay, so if it costs me 1,000 shares and it's gonna cost me $40 to get 1,000 shares, off that $40 investment, if I have 1,000 shares, I plan on capturing $500 to $1,000. Can be, but you have to pay to play one. Right, yeah, you definitely, like with this style, when you're using the 20-day 1-hour candles, you definitely don't want to scalp that move. Like, you're not in the stock for 10 cents. When that backside kicks in, that's why I stress so much about patterns. When this backside kicks in, it's not going to drop 10 cents. This thing's going a point, 2 points, 3 points. That's why when I short stocks, I want to see a huge range. Like a huge range is like this. From 4 to 15. What's not a huge range? This stock. So if I'm paying 40 cents a share to short this stock, because it went from 195 to 221, it's giving me 26 cents. So if I can capture only 26 cents, I'm not going to pay the money to short this. Why? Because it has too much support levels in it, and it's not worth it. But if you're going to pay 40 cents to short this stock, you're talking capturing, 5-6 points. If on this stock, I shorted in the 13s and covered in the 10s, so I captured 3 points on one move. So that's how I can justify it. Like when I look for stocks, I'm looking for stocks that have huge range, at least $1. So you always got to justify, like when you're gonna pay for them shorts, you got to think, okay, can the stock at least move more than if you're paying 4 cents. You want that stock to move 50 cents. So it makes it worth your while. And most of these penny stocks that are moving they're huge. So recycling shorts, say you got 1,000 shares of ACY and you shorted up here, let's just say you shorted it in the 14s, 300 shares, and then you covered in the 1260s. Once you cover that position, you still have 1,000 shares. So pretty much whatever you borrow, you have that amount the whole day. So if you want to, you can definitely scalp these trades, because you can recycle the shares. So it's kind of like you have 1,000, you short the stock. As soon as you close that position, that 1,000 shares that you had is still available all day long. So you can get in and out of trades all day long. Did I do that well enough, Mike? If I'm not explaining it the best, tell me to go into more detail or something. We're just here to learn, and the biggest thing I want you guys to take out of this is if you look at my YouTube, the consistency. And the consistency comes with the patterns. Hey, man. So yeah, the biggest thing that, if I can't stress enough, is when you look at that scanner in the morning, is to look for these setups. Let me get this out of here. So in the morning, what I'm looking for is this setup right here. That's what I look for. yeah, trust me, man, this style, if you can implement it, you're gonna start seeing this pattern on a daily basis. Like, it may not be as big as from 4 to 15, but even if it's that's awesome. You just got off work. Do you have set days you trade live? So, I have a full-time job. What I've been trying to do is get off on Fridays to have live streams. So if I have off on Fridays, I'm definitely going live. But you can still learn from the videos every night. Like, you're gonna start seeing these patterns, and you're gonna be like, oh man. Like, you're gonna be like, oh, Diesel's shorting this, or he's definitely watching this stock. And like I say, and if you don't have the ability to short right now, you can still go long. But the longs, what did he was talking, guys? What did he was talking? Let's see. EIQ. Actually, I'll show you a setup. So this right here is a long bias setup. So this stock actually ran last week. So let's get rid of all this, because this doesn't mean anything to you guys. So if you're a long bias trader, like I said, if them three candles, if these three 20-day 1 hour candles, if this one closes, which it did at 767, if this candle closes, this candle closed, the low was $8. I keep saying the close, I mean the low. So 767, the low of this one was $8. The low of this candle was $8.12. This setup right here, super, super bullish. So this setup right here, if you're like, hey, I'm not comfortable shorting stocks, this right here, if you see this pattern, if you see three 1 hour candles, and you're looking at the volume's going up, volume's going up, volume's going up, and this candle is higher than this close is higher than this close, that, my friends, is super, super bullish. Like, I would not be shorting that stock. Yep. Yeah, you can ask a question about the risk. Yeah, if you guys have questions, like, I really want to go in depth on like what I see in these charts. Trust me, this is, if you really take advantage of this can definitely change long bias or short bias. This can definitely change the way that you're going to look at the market. When I see you short it, the candle open. Here I can show you. I'll just use this. We kind of went over that briefly. Actually, there's a better stock. I think it's FTFT. Yep, this one right here. So I traded this stock on Thursday. Made a killing on it. So this is FTFT. I actually took a starter position right here, 767, 70, I think 780s. When this went 10 cents above, I wasn't too worried because at that point I'm watching the tape. And when it dropped, I was like, all right, we're in the driver's seat. But I always mark. So the risk is always on the close of that green candle. Like if it goes up 5-10 cents, I'm not like sweating it. I mean, that's pretty normal, like for that candle to pop a little bit. So my stop is the high of this candle. So the high of this candle would be 791. When this stock opened and started blowing past 791, I cut the trade. My risk is always usually on the left side of that 1 hour candle. If it blows past it, I'm out of it. But when this candle closes, I'll wait for the close, and if I see something like this, that's super bearish. So when this candle opens, now my risk has not changed. I'm still looking at that 780 mark. And the most I'll risk is 790. So if this stock goes up to 780, I'm fine with that. If it goes to 790, I'm ready to cut the trade. If it breaks 790, I'm out of the trade. So in this stock on Thursday, I started shorting this stock. Once when the stock popped, I closed my order. This candle opened, I re-entered the trade. I believe, I want to say at 400 to 500 shares in the 740, 750s, and I covered my position in the 670s. The only reason why I covered in the 670s is because the low of this candle is 638, and I figured it was going to bounce, but it never did, and it just kept going it just got rocked. But the reason why I short this, there's no support on that 20-day 1 hour. Did that answer your question about the risk? So if I'm shorting into this and I'm in at 780, that's where I like to be at. I'm watching the tape. So I mean, by watching tape, I'm watching the buyers and the sellers. So if this ain't really blowing past 790, I'm totally in the driver's seat. If this starts going past 790, I know I got to cut the trade. And then I'll just get back in. So once I enter the trade, because this candle takes an hour to form, at that point in time, I'm watching the buyers and the sellers to see which you can tell on the level 2 if it's more bearish or if it's more bullish, because you have 1 hour to wait for that candle to close. No, I don't. So I won't add into the pop, because when a stock pops up, you're adding into strength. You don't want to short when a stock's going up. When I'm shorting a stock, the only reason why I'm shorting the stock is because it's bearish. Like, I don't short into strength. Short into strength, you're going to get short squeezed. Yep. So my watch list is the daily movers. Whatever stock's moving that day is the stocks I'm watching. You need skill. You don't need skill watching level 2. I don't watch level 2. You don't need to watch. What I mean by the buyers and sellers, like if you're in at 780 and it pops to like 785, 790, like you don't need to hone in on like hours and hours of trying to watch a level 2. So you don't need to hone in with my style. Like, So when I enter that position, I'm watching it, but it's not like I'm just watching to see, like, when I enter, is this thing really still bullish or bearish? I mean, if you're at 780s and it only moved 10 cents against you and instantly drop back down, it's super bearish. So where I'm adding, I went over this before you got on. Where I'm adding is the closing price of this candle. So here, we'll just use this one. So the closing price, when this candle closed, it closed at 756. Oh, I keep doing it. I gotta switch that. So this candle right here, let's get rid of this line so everything's not confusing. So where I'm looking to add on my short, so say we got into this trade, this candle closed at 763. This candle opens. This candle opened at 762. So if you want to short this candle, take a small size if you're getting in as soon as that candle opens. What I mean by small sizes, like I was saying before, if you plan on shorting 1,000 shares, do like 100, 200 shares, because you don't know if that's the backside yet. So that's the close of this candle. Say you got in 200 shares. My stop is still with this candle, 780, because that's a huge resistance. This one blew past, came right back down. So I'm still risking off the 780s. It's always the candle to the left is my risk. So if I'm short here at the 760s, this candle opens up, and this candle opens at 755. So this opens 755. As soon as you see that candle open, and say it starts pushing higher, you always want to be on the defense. So if this goes to 780s and doesn't go past 780s, you already know on that point that you are golden. Why? Because this candle to the left, it couldn't break 780. So that's your stop. You have this such tight stop loss. I play plug a lot because of the, like, instead of shorting the S&P or anything like that, it kind of correlates with it. I'm familiar with that stock. So, like, I guess that's the reason why I trade it a lot. But, like, that strategy, you can definitely use in this. But, like, say Biden comes out and says something, that stock can pop. That's why I don't really hone in on, like, this strategy with that. That's kind of more or less like a whole different strategy, I guess. That one I'm looking more at, like, the charts, like on that pattern repeating itself and stuff. Jay. To get back into this, so if you're short at the 760s, your stop is still right here. The high of this is 779. This went to a high of 780, so it's only a penny. So you're not going to get stopped out. And when this thing goes to 780 and pulls back, you're going to see that really quick, the pullback. You already know you're in the driver's seat. Like, you're going to start watching these 20-day, 1-hour candles, and you're going to see, like, hey, like, you're going to see how they react at levels. And then once that pulls back under 760, it's game over. And then when it breaks the low of this candle of 730s, it's really game over. So, I hope that was that clear enough for you? Once you start using these 20-day, 1-hour candles, you're going to start to notice how they trade. And trust me, is a lot different than a 1 minute candle because there's so much time on these. But you're going to start seeing the way that they form, and like that's going to turn into your 1 minute candle. Like you can tell when the stock's really bearish or really bullish, and it's hard to say. But the more you start watching it, the more you're going to be able to tell. So on a daily basis, that's what I'm looking at. When I get into this position at that closing price, as soon as I get in, I'm watching that next candle open. If it goes green right away, I'm really on the defense. Because when that candle opens, if it goes red right away, I'm totally relaxed. But if it goes green, then I'm watching that level. I'm watching the buyers and the sellers. Because if it goes from like 760 to 770 back to 740, that's huge weakness. Like you're totally in the driver's seat at that point. So I have to watch. Oh, okay. Yeah, hopefully you guys are. Hopefully I'm breaking this. The whole purpose that I want to do this live stream is to really break down so you guys can see on a daily basis when I wake up, what I do, what I look for, and then when the chart opens up, like what I'm watching. Like the key indicators of me is when I get into that trade, it's off the closing price. And once I get into the trade, I'm watching the buyers and the sellers at that point. Because if I'm a seller and that thing dropped 30, 40 cents within like 5 minutes, you're in the driver's seat. You'll start to see more and more like the buyers and the sellers. No, I'm watching just the level 2. Yep, no time in sales, just strictly level 2. And obviously you can't see it now, but for anybody that doesn't know what a level 2 is, I'll show you. So right here is what we call level 2. So you have the buyers and the sellers and then the time and sales. So when the market's open, you're going to see a whole list of buyers and a whole list of sellers. And that's what I mean by level 2. Just if you guys want, I can do a more depth into level 2, but I don't really base my trades off of it. So how many hours a day do I look at charts? I would say on a daily basis, I'm looking at charts probably 6 hours a day on the low end. Like the further I've progressed in trading, the more that I'm going in depth with charts. Like the candlesticks, one thing is candlesticks don't lie. So candlesticks and the price action, like they do not lie. So I'm gonna be honest, dude. I don't have a skill in reading level 2. All I'm looking at is literally the buyers and the sellers. Like my skill would be charts, patterns, candlesticks. That's my skill. Like the level 2, you probably, anybody in this chat can definitely read level 2 probably as well as I can. Yeah, 6 to 10 hours. I mean, one thing with trading is you definitely have to put in the time. And one thing I could really suggest is to focus your energy into one thing. Like, when I'm looking at charts, 99% of my energy goes into what you're seeing today. I don't look at anything else. It's strictly charts. Charts and patterns. Like, every single day, I'm literally looking at patterns. And then patterns tell me the story of where that price is headed. Maybe Jay, I don't want to answer for him, but my style, I don't think too many people even really know about it. Because this style that I'm showing you guys is pretty much all self-taught. And the reason why I show the P&L, the tickets, the time and sales, is to show you guys, and like the broker statements, is to show you guys as proof that there's a lot of people that can manipulate a lot of things on YouTube and like show you this dream, but like they don't show their P&L, they don't show their tickets, they don't show their time and sales. And it's probably for a reason, because they probably, if they entered the trade, I'm guessing it was a paper trade. It wasn't with real money. And if you're paper trading, you have no emotion attached to that stock. So that's why I'm so transparent. That's why I show you guys the P&Ls, like on the actual website. Because I just be cautious out there with traders on YouTube. Like, it's really easy to do a paper trade and then to make it look like it's real money. But, you know, maybe ask them like, hey, let's see your time and sales. That's why I'm trying to push the envelope to, like, maybe, I mean, there's a lot of YouTubers out there that are awesome at day trading, and I'm not gonna like hype them down. I'm just saying, just be leery on YouTube, like, until they show you the consistency and the real thing. Just, you know, I'm just trying to be as transparent as possible, and like what I'm doing every day, you guys could do every day. And I'm not charging you like $300-400 or whatever they charge. Like, in my opinion, if you're a day trader and you're making money in the market, you're already making money. Why charge somebody, you know, $2,000 for your course? They can look at your YouTube and see your course. I'll be right back. And we're here to have fun. Like, I mean, like, trading should be fun. Like, this right here, talking to you guys, like, the stock market's not open, no, there's no pressure on anybody. It's fun. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, you gotta have fun. And, like, you start doing this pattern, you're gonna start having fun. Let me tell you. There's no better feeling at the end of the day, every day, that you're taking money out of the stock market. And, like, you're not gambling. Like, there's no gamble here. Your risk is so tight and the win rate's so high. Like, I want you guys to do what I do. I want you to be better than me. Like, I want you to say, hey, I shorted the same stock and it made twice as much as you did. Like, that's awesome. Hey, thanks a lot. Even all you guys showing up today, you know, that's it means a lot to me. Like, nobody had to take their time out to do this live stream. Like, it just drives me more to even push the envelope even higher. Oh, I wanted to show you guys something. I almost forgot. ACY. So Monday morning, what am I going to do? I'm going to short ACY. And I'll show you why. I almost forgot this. So, we're going to have to do a side comparison here. I cannot believe I almost forgot this. Okay. This is what I get into. This is the good stuff. Like, I get hyped about this. I look at patterns that repeat themselves as well. So, like, when this stock gapped up, obviously got crushed, right? Look at this. So, there's going to be a pop in this stock. And I don't know if it's going to be Monday, Tuesday, but there's going to be a pop. So, like right here, this stock gapped up from 10s to 17s, closed weak. What do you think happened the next day? The next day, the stock went from 11 to 15. Guess what happened to it? Closed weak. Next day, the stock went from 11 to 14, got smoked. So, what I'm basing my trade off is, here, look at this. This is the last. So, right here, the stock gapped up huge, got smoked. The next day, it had a little gap up. What do you think happened to it? Got smoked. So this right here, so Monday morning, what am I basing my trade off of? This stock's going to get smoked. So you'll probably definitely be seeing me short ACY on Monday. But I have to see a red candle before I take the short. And if I short it, I'm going to be shorting at the close of the green, and my stop is going to be really tight. How long to... I mean, this live stream is based on whatever you guys want to do. If you guys feel like, hey, you showed me exactly what I came here to see, that's awesome. You know, I can cut it at any time. I just want you guys to walk away today saying, hey, I'm not saying like Monday morning you guys are going to definitely notice like, oh, I know this guy's style, like it takes time. But I want you to see like what I see on a daily basis, like how I enter the stock, what I look for in the stock, how I judge if the stock is actually shortable, like all that. Because every single day that's going to be a part of the system. So like if you guys are seeing exactly what I'm seeing, that's awesome. And I know, like, there's not, like, a lot of people at this chat, but you know what? I'll gladly help anybody in this chat over anybody else. I like the weekends, but at the same time, the weekends definitely are crappy because, like, everybody wants the market to be open. But on the weekends, you can definitely... when's the last time you went long on a stock? Actually, it was on Thursday. I'll go long. I believe it was... Nope. SONA. So... I actually went long the stock right here. I entered the stock at the close. The close was 1075. I entered at 1075 and I sold in the 11s. I actually will go long on these because I'm looking for the same pattern. I know on Mondays, or not Mondays, when this green candle pops, this next candle opens up, there's going to be some kind of a pop. It doesn't always have to do that, but if it don't, trust me, I'm watching the level 2. I'm out of the trade. But yes, I will go long. It's not very often, but I will do it. Like, it's got to fit the same patterns. Like, every day, they're trying to switch the patterns. So every day, you have to watch them. So, like, right now, these patterns that you're seeing next week might not even exist. And the new pattern starts. And that new pattern starts, then you just have to, you just adjust with it. But if I could say anything, if you want to do this style, trade zero. Get an account, or center point. But definitely trade zero. I would recommend. They have a really great short list. 5 a.m. Central Time. You can pretty much start shorting stocks. If you want to go long stocks, you can start trading at 3 in the morning Central Time. Is there anything else you guys want to go over? Yeah, I'll definitely try to do these live streams more. But I think the more videos that you watch of mine, you're really going to start to see that I'm doing this on a daily basis. Like, you'll start seeing these patterns. And if they switch, guess what? You always have me on the videos the night of, the night after, to show you these patterns. Like, these patterns definitely stick out in my brain. So, like, if you're unsure of them, just watch my video. But just don't, like, you have to watch the whole video. Because, like, I go in depth, but I don't. But, like, I'll show you these patterns. That's one thing that sticks out in my brain is patterns. Under 25K, how much fee will... under 25K, I believe Trade Zero is $60 a month. And that's even if you're over 25K, if that's what you're asking. And then Mike, how do you translate the patterns you have been trading for the past few weeks, months? So, like, I don't know exactly how my brain processes it. I wish I could tell you. But, like, when that pattern, like, presents itself, that'll stick in my brain. And then, like, the next penny stock will do it. And then, like, you'll just start to see patterns. It's a hard thing to, like, the more you look at penny stocks, the more screen time you have, the easier it is going to start to spot them, I guess. Because if one does it, they all copycat each other. And it's like I say, you can see in my videos, it's not always the same pattern, but they always try to mimic each other. So if you catch the first one, the rest are going to follow. Like, if you see that first penny stock squeeze the shorts for 3 days, I probably wouldn't be shorting. I'd probably be on the long bias basis. Because there's an ebb and flow. Like, if the shorts are winning now, the longs are going to they'll flip it. And that's what you have to be able to recognize is when you do not want to start shorting stocks, because look at this one, DLPN. This one right here. So if you were short biased and you're like, oh, these things are getting crushed on the first day and you're shorting it, that's what I mean. You have to study the pattern. If the pattern says, hey, this stock just went from 6 to 38 and it took 2 days, like, the pattern, they change the pattern all the time. And that's why, like, I have my channel and everything that I strive for is I'm trying to keep you guys up to date on, like, these patterns. Like, anything you take away from this channel is patterns. I mean, level 2, very minimal that I use. If I use anything, it's patterns, patterns, patterns. That's what I trade as patterns. That's what gives me the niche. That's what gives me the edge in the market. And, like, if you watch my videos, you're going to see that every single day. Anytime you watch a video that I just started getting back on YouTube, but since the video from Diesel's back, look at every YouTube. You're going to see the same pattern. It's not identical, but it's pretty identical. And when the tide turns, you just have to know when the tide turns. And trust me, I'll definitely, like, every day, you guys will be up to date on what stocks are moving. Hope that answered your question, Mike. Hopefully. I know it's not easy. It's easier for me to say it's the patterns. Like, I know it's not as easy as for everybody, but everybody has their own niche. I mean, Ross has his niche. Every trader has their niche. And in my niche, I would say patterns and candlesticks. So that anything you could take away from this is those two things. Like, level 2, I use it, but it's not like it's I'm putting a lot of time into it. I mean, I'm using it just for when I get into that trade. I'm using level 2 for the first, I would say, 5 minutes of the trade. That's it. After that, I don't even care what level 2 is doing. After that, I'm basing it off of patterns. Yep, my time goes into the charts and the patterns. Like 99% of it. Every day I'm looking to what patterns are moving. What they're doing. I mean, if you look at this, DLPM, it's the same setup as this. Remember I was showing, remember when I said them 3 candlesticks in a row? This is super, super bullish. You don't want to short that. Did you follow a stock to short? I don't follow. Like I say, here you actually are asking that, but let me show you this. If you get trade 0, anybody else watching, you already seen this, but I gotta show him. So you see this trade 0 here. Right here, if you have trade 0, it says most active. It says top list. Every day when I wake up, this is what I'm looking at. They have the most active stocks, and it's free. If you have the platform, you're gonna see what I see every day. At 3 in the morning, this thing's full of stocks, and then I choose the top 3, top 4, like over 1 million shares of volume traded, and then I'll pull them up on the charts and I'll look at them. Does it look like this and this? And if it does, I'm getting the shorts. Oh. If it looks like, this pattern, or if it looks like, RKDA, this is what I'm when I see that scanner, this is what I'm looking for. When I pull up that chart, So when I'm pulling that chart up, all I'm seeing is this. At 3 in the morning, this is all I see. So if I see this, and I see this from yesterday, I'm getting the shares. And then I'm just going to patiently wait for that stock to show the backside of the move. Once that shows the backside of the move, then I get short. But ACY, I'm telling you guys, Monday, ACY. This has a whole different strategy. I don't even want... I'll, on another live stream, I'll get to this strategy, but the reason why I'm shorting it is because of a different strategy. So, if you guys have no more questions, I'll definitely cut this, and we'll hit her hard Monday. Hopefully some of this definitely stuck out to you. And the videos will definitely be coming still daily. So I mean, trust me, in my videos I'll let you know if the pattern's still the same. Alrighty. Well, I'm gonna say thanks for everybody tuning in today. I really appreciate it. Any comments, any likes on the videos, I muchly appreciate it. I'm competing against some big people, some big names out there, and I'm just trying to get my name out there. So, yeah. And until next time, traders, peace.